here, Seymour Butts is going to be going in through the back door, and
It's a
this
great
should be
idea.
pretty effective. Yeah, he should be able to get at least a couple kills, taking out that mule right away. Oh man, that
Oh,
is
he
going to
didn't
be
pick up the
so
mule.
damaging.
There it goes.
Yeah.
He kind of thought, this is interesting. He's actually pretty good at improvising. He kind of thought that there's a possibility he was going to run into that Reaper if he had gone straight over the cliffs. So he decided to change directions a little bit. He went south a little and then north, and was able to take out that mule without getting any damage done to his Reaper. So good job by him. He's a very smart player as far as I've seen so far.
Yeah, and it's good, solid play, at least with his Reaper decision making. It's going well. He's getting out his starport faster than Judarizon. Of course, these are different builds. Judarizon going for that stim pack, probably going to be favoring more biocentric play as opposed to Seymour Butts, who is getting that siege tech up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him expand after getting siege tech up. Instead, Judarizon is going for a more aggressive economic build, if that's possible. But yeah, I mean, I can see this going pretty well for Judarizon or Seymour Butts. It's a pretty even match so far.
So siege tanks continue to be produced from that factory. He is actually getting some Vikings out, probably to do a little bit of scouting and also to snipe any medevacs that might come out. Judarizon is also getting siege tanks and Vikings. This is usually what I see TVT devolve to. A lot of the times they just go 1-1-1, and then they add on more barracks, more maybe one more starport, and some extra factories, and then it becomes a race to see who can get air superiority with their Vikings. And then once you have air superiority, you can outrange siege tanks with your own siege tanks, and that is usually what happens. It just comes down to, in TVT, I feel that it comes down to positioning a lot and just cranking out those Vikings as fast as you can so you can take out the opponent's Vikings. And then not moving, but definitely repositioning your tanks so that they're within range. So there goes a little bit of a fight at where the natural expansion is going to be. Seymour Butts did siege his tanks at the bottom of the ramp right outside of the natural expansion and got a couple of shots off on some Marines. So there are some heavily damaged, heavily injured Marines right now. He does have a tank lead right now. If you look at the units production or units tab, it's 4-2 right now in tanks, and it's 2-1 right now in Vikings. But you'll notice that he's 7 SCVs behind, which is why right now he is actually ahead in mech rather. But that's not going to last forever.
Oh man, if this SCV's... Oh no, the SCV's just coming up and repairing. Bit of damage coming out from that Reaper there. SCV's coming up and repairing the siege tanks there for Judarizon. I'm curious what Seymour Butts is trying to do with these siege tanks. It looks like he's trying to set up a bit of a contain, but unbeknownst to him, Judarizon does have that expo up, and at what would be like his 4th or 5th, basically the base right next to him.
I think usually people make that their 3rd base because of the rocks at the other. At most the 4th base. Usually, usually a lot of players will take that as a 3rd since they don't have to break rocks. It really depends on where the opponent spawns, though, too. So right now they are. Seymour Butts is shelling. He actually has fewer Vikings now over in that area, so he's going to lose both of his Vikings.
Yeah, he is going to scout this base though, and he should be able to do a lot of damage to the SCVs as long as he brings it in.
Oh man. A lot of the Marines being killed right there. He does take out one of the siege tanks, but he lost all of his Marines that were over there. He does have a 6-2 tank advantage, although he can be outranged right now because there's 3 Vikings in the air versus 1 Viking in the air for Seymour Butts. So he's going to have to retreat.
Yeah. Now Judarizon is moving that command center over to his natural. Probably a safer choice. I liked that he threw it down at that other base though, just so that he could get that little boost in income for a while. But Seymour Butts has had that expo up at his natural for longer than Judarizon, despite the fact that he's lower in harvesters. He is ahead in income, but that should change rather quickly.
Yeah, Jittery's on right now. He's actually got a couple of SCVs at his main base that aren't doing anything. There's 3 of them right outside of his orbital command, just kind of sitting around taking a coffee break. He's going to want to move those immediately over to his natural expansion, at least have them not sitting there doing nothing. Oh, yeah, there you go. So he's now moving those over to his natural expansion. He is actually throwing up a 3rd command center. The reason why he ended up moving his orbital command was because there was a Reaper from Seymour Butts that came over and started harassing that mineral line. There weren't a whole lot of SCVs there, but he did lose a couple. I believe, I don't know the hotkeys to stuff. Control R. So yeah, Seymour Butts did kill 4 SCVs. I think he only killed 1 or 2 over at that natural expansion, though, because I do recall him killing a couple of ones that were mining gas at the main base of Juderazon. So Juderazon actually, he's ahead right now in resources, and he's got 3 more SCVs, about 500 more minerals per minute. He's also breaking the rocks at his at the left side expansion. Seymour Butts actually sees that going down, though. He sees that the rocks are being broken. He's actually going to float his Reaper back into the base and probably kill off a couple more SCVs that are mining gas.
Yep. Now, hey, Crumble, can you turn down in-game sounds really quick? I'm getting requests from people on the stream.
So here we go. There's a push out now going down. 3 Vikings, 9 tanks, 12 Marines, and a Marauder. This is a pretty big push.
Yeah,
he's got 5 more tanks. He's got 5 more tanks right now than Juderazon has.
I'm really impressed by Seymour Butts' play right now. He's doing a lot better than Juderazon, although
right there.
He is extremely far behind in the Viking race.
Yes, and losing those 2 Vikings means that he's not going to be able to see up top of on the high ground and without using scans, and that will actually be a detriment to him. Although at this point, Juderazon has 9 Vikings to Seymour Butts' 0 Vikings. He could actually, I mean, if he had perfect information, he could easily go over to behind the mineral lines of Seymour Butts and actually do quite a bit of harassment. But he does have 2 medevacs filled with Marines now headed over to the main of Seymour Butts. This could do quite a bit of damage as the slow, lumbering army of Seymour Butts is way out of position at the northern Zelnaga Tower. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. This could do a lot of damage. He's going to take out probably all the SCVs at the main base. There's absolutely nothing in the base of Seymour Butts to actually deal with this. He's also going to be able to take out a bunch of...
it looks like only 3 SCVs died there, and the rest of Seymour Butts' army should be coming in there, although he might be able to take his main base out, and if he does, that would be huge.
He takes out the command center, which is a huge loss, and now it looks like he's going to pick up the rest of what he has left, although... Oh, he's going to lose 1. He lost both of the medevacs. Kind of a miss micro moment right there from Juderazon. He did manage to take out a command center, though, which is going to be a pretty big deal. He also stopped 2 supply depots from being built. Right now, Juderazon is looking pretty good. He is down 11-6, though, in tanks, but he does have his 3rd base up and running now with a planetary fortress at that left area.
Now, This right here, I would say, is the main difference between a Diamond and a Masters player. Juderazon, he has his 3rd up in time. He's significantly far ahead of his opponent. He was doing all those drops. He was doing basically everything that he needs to do to get ahead in the late game, which is really what matters. And
here's a huge fight going on down right now. Marines and tanks coming up. They are doing a ton of damage.
Yeah,
but he's going to clean this up just from superior positioning. All of the Vikings and all of the medevacs were destroyed as they were running over to meet up with Seymour Butts' army, and he ends up picking up all of those. He actually got a couple shells in against the Marines that were also moving over there, so a lot of free shots for Juderazon there before that final push. Seymour Butts tried to siege when he was pushing up that ramp, which is a problem because the Marines from Juderazon were able to stem and run right in and just take out almost everything that was over there. So here we go. Here's our second game. that we are going to cast of the round of 32. I will be back in 1 minute. I'm just gonna go get a bottle of water because I'm getting rather parched.
All
So
right.
take it away, Wob. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Um. Yeah. Anyone curious? Let's see. ZL Arcanite from one of the games that we previously casted did win against Spetsnaz. I'm going to go ahead and check the bracket right now and give y'all some updates. I'll go ahead and also link that in stream chat. Thank you again, everyone that is watching. Hey, Crumble, could you update the graphic to say that it's round of 32?
All right, I'm back.
Unless there are still round of... Oh, it's because we didn't have a round of 128. So yeah, we are on the round of 32 now, guys.
Yeah. This is our second round of 32 game. I think we are moving on to the round of 16 game after this one.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah. Let's see. Has the... Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta refresh this bracket. That makes sense. Alright, so this is going to be Sergeant versus Tear. The winner of this will go up against one Trell. Let's see. What is he? Actually, I'll just give you information on these two players right now. Sergeant is a Diamond Protoss player, and Tear is... There he is, a Platinum Terran player, so a bit more of a low-level game, probably going to be a bit more ridiculous than the other games. That's usually, a trademark of lower-level players, is that their play isn't as refined as higher-level players, and it can, a lot of times, be more entertaining to watch, just for comedic value, I suppose. But yeah, over here on the left-hand side, we have Terra spawning as the Red Terran, and down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Sergeant spawning as the Orange Protoss right here. Crumble, are you following my camera? Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, anyone that thinks that we're just talking to ourselves, we've actually got the streamer in a Skype call with us, but y'all can't hear him. It's fine, we're not crazy. Promise.
I just want to say that in the round of 16, we actually have Infested Mr. T, one of our own at rCraftGaming, going up against Jeu de Raison. So we've got to cast that game.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that has to be casted. Mr. T. I smell a conspiracy. Bit of that rCraftGaming. You just can't trust anyone that works for them. LOL. But yeah, as a Protoss player, my friend Kennedy here. What do you usually do against Terran?
I've been getting rushed by Reactor first 2 barracks. They're not really all-ins, obviously, but 3-4 Marauders and like 8 Marines. So lately, I've been going 2 Gateway into Robo facility so that I'll Chrono Boost out and Observer, and then if I see a bunch of Marauders and Marines, I'll know what's coming. So I get some Zealots, I get some Stalkers. And of course, I will get I'll Chrono Boost out an Immortal when the Observer gets over to see what's going on, so I can try to deal with that first one. And then it just comes down to, well, usually I'll be able to counter it. Of course, it's always good to get an Observer out, so there's nothing wrong with going Robotics Facility after 2 Gateways, rather than going 3 Gate or whatever. And then after that, depending on how well I did in that first battle, I'll either expand or I'll throw down another Gateway or 2 and try to, if I'm on the ropes, then I'll just try to get out as many Gateway units as I can and hopefully get another Immortal out or whatever. But usually that's enough to take out the Reactor first push by Terran.
Now, we do see a Macarax coming here from Tear. He's getting that Reactor also.
So it looks like it's going to be Reactor first 2. Yeah, Reactor first 2 racks attack. He'll get he'll throw a Tech Lab down on his second barracks. He'll research Concussive Shells first. Once Concussive Shells is done researching, he'll probably make a push with a Stem Cell coming second out of that Tech Lab. But usually they'll try to get, 6, 8 Marines and 3 Marauders for that first push. Something around there. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's like 10 Marines and 2 Marauders or whatever for that first push. That push can be very, very effective, though, especially if you went 3 Gate, because that push will be hitting you right around when your Warp Gate has just finished. your warp gate tech is just finished, so or like just after your warp gate tech is just finished, so you don't even have a whole lot of gateway units out yet, if you're unprepared for it.
Now, Terra does have